All right, I'm gonna try to keep this in the time frame of short, but I spent a long time yesterday trying to get this Turner intake to fit. Thought I was doing something wrong. Started making modifications to the car just to see if I could get it to fit. But I want to show you guys, I think they either switched manufacturers or something and it's not fitting right. So, okay, so real quick in the back here, I have to take this brace out and I put two large washers underneath it and then screwed it back down just so that it wouldn't touch the intake. But even with that, still, when you put the strut brace back on, it literally sits on the intake. And if I tighten it down, it's going to push on the intake, and then when you rev the engine or drive off and accelerate, it's going to try to move the engine a little bit, and you could very easily crack this intake. Next thing is, this is literally sitting on my valve cover, and we have at least ½ inch gap there. I know the grommet's not in there, but when it was, this would not line up, and this hole down here is nowhere near where it needs to be, and I can't go any further. Now, again, at first I thought I was screwing something up. I checked my motor mounts to make sure they weren't sitting on the dowel, which I double checked before I put it back in the car anyways. I thought maybe because I have the Turner polyurethane motor mounts that my engine was a little bit higher. But then I had an idea. Why don't I try to put the stock intake airbox in to see how that looks? Check this out. Okay, as you can see, there's a perfect 1/4 inch all the way around the valve cover, just like it should be. Not lying, this thing is sitting flush on its brackets. It's on the bumper down there. So that stock intake fits perfectly, or the intake airbox. Let me show you the other difference I found. All right, so when we measured the depth of the intake runner on the Turner intake, it measures out at about 18 millimeters. When we measure the depth of the stock runner, it's 15 millimeters. So that right there is going to lift this up 3 millimeters already. And then the overall shape and size of the intake plenum is much larger. It's a different shape. It's taller. So overall, it's just a larger intake, and you add all this stuff together and it just does not fit with the stock strut bars. And in fact, if you look on Turner's website, I didn't even notice this, they don't have the strut bars or the strut braces in their car in the pictures. Okay, again, nothing against Turner. They've helped me out a lot with getting parts for this build. The guys over there are super cool. They're super helpful. I'm really hoping they'll take this back. I don't see why they wouldn't. It doesn't fit in the car the way it should. And I don't know what we're going to do in the future, but for now, it's back to the stock plenum and intake, and we'll just go from there, I guess.